Let's hear that. Oh, oh. So that is the aperture ring. Hey guys, what is up? You are now watching Renait Reborn, and thank you very much for returning. If you watched my last video, then you know exactly what this channel is going to be about. But today we have a very special topic which I get asked about a lot. I'm going to be running through my simple photography setup and just showing you exactly what I have in my arsenal and what I always keep in my bag. We're going to be starting off with my camera body, and my camera of choice is the Sony a6400. I bought this camera in 2019. Don't ask me how much it cost. It cost at that time in 2019, it cost an absolute fortune. This camera has been with me for the last, I guess, maybe 5 years or so. I've done all my paid work on this camera. I've shot videos, photography, I've taken it abroad, I've shot internationally. It's such a great camera. I really can't say anything bad about it. I got it in a cage as well from a small rig. So as you can see, it looks a little bit beefier than how it usually looks. I've got like a little mount for my camera strap as well with a 1/4" jack. But this camera, brilliant. It's got a nice little articulating screen, so you can flip it up. If you want to film some vlogs, you can do it that way. If you want to shoot some photos, you can tilt it downwards. So it's just the best of both worlds. It's very reliable, very durable. I haven't really dropped my camera much, so I can't say how durable it is in terms of, you know, droppages, because you should never drop your gear. You should never drop your gear. I can tell you this camera is amazing. So I can run through just the basic specs. So it is a 24 megapixel camera. It only has one SD card. It has built-in NFC, Bluetooth. It's great for photography. It shoots 4K 30. The 4K video is also downsampled from a 6K video. So you're getting super sharp results. And I can't fault this camera at all. It supports all of Sony's accessories. You can put on different flashes, triggers, anything you want, and it's very modular, perfect, and it's a great for any setup. Even if you are full frame, this is a great A cam for anyone starting off, and if you are on the Sony full frame, then it's a great B cam. Now, one of the most important things, aside from your camera body, is the lens or the glass you put in front of it. This is where most of your money and resources should be piled into. And my favorite lens of choice, especially for events, is this is the Tamron 17-70mm, which is equivalent to a 25.5 on aps-c to a 105. This lens, as you can tell, is a 2.8. It is a zoom lens. So you have two types of lenses for photography or videography. You have a few more than that, but we're going to talk about two lenses. You have zoom lenses, and then you have prime lenses. The difference between a zoom lens and a prime lens is one of them is in the name. A zoom lens, you can literally zoom in to whatever your subject is, which allows you to get a little bit of extra reach. So if you're at a wedding, if you're at an event and you physically can't move further to your subject, you can boom, you can zoom in. Prime lenses are lenses that have a fixed focal length. So if you get like a 24mm, it would just be a 24mm. You cannot zoom in and out on a prime lens. You'll need to find a way to compose your shot versus just zooming into your shot. Zoom lenses versus prime lenses is a huge debate in the photography community. I personally love using prime lenses, but having a nifty zoom like this is very key. Prime lenses have a faster aperture, which basically means you can blur out your background and separate your subject more. Speaking of prime lenses, if I had to choose one prime lens to pair up with my camera, it would be this one here. This is the Sigma 30mm 1.4. Ooh, I'm telling you, that 1.4, it literally blurs out everything. This lens is my overall street photography, portrait lens, environmental portraits, architecture. This lens can do it all. It is super sharp in the center. As you can see, it's got a little bit of wear and tear. I've had this lens close to 3-4 years now. It has served me well. I am an environmental portrait photographer, which means I like to shoot a little bit wider than a 50mm. 35mm and a 50mm are the most flattering for facial features and for portraits. This lens is a 30mm, but on the aps-c line, when you add the magnification, it's actually a 45mm. The 45mm to me is the absolute sweet spot for portrait photography. And my third lens that I carry with me everywhere is my Sigma 16mm 1.4, and that lens is actually shooting me right now. This lens, it gives you just, it makes you feel like Superman. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't explain how sharp. Sigma in the past released a trio of lenses, which was the 56mm, the 30mm, and the 16mm, all 1.4. And the 16mm, it's so razor sharp, you can cut your finger just like that. Just like that. 16mm is equivalent to a 24mm on the aps-c line. I don't need to say anything more about this lens. I'm gonna link down below my portrait work so you can see for yourself the results I produce with this lens. It is super sharp, has a little bit of distortion because of the wideness. The 1.4 blurs out the background, just, it's magical. It's absolutely magical. I use the 16mm mainly for my videography setup, which I'll be doing that very soon. If you want me to make a video about my videography setup, I've got a new camera, by the way, which is filming me now. Just let me know down below, comment, subscribe. Let me know what type of videos you want me to make. But the 16mm is just, it's great, perfect, small, compact. I have 3 more lenses that I have and own, but do not use as much. And those lenses are, number 1 is the Milton 50 1.7. This is, this lens is amazing. It's basically a cinematic lens. It's a vintage lens. I had to import this from Japan. I bought this years ago, so I went through a huge fad of manual focus. I wanted to focus everything, and this lens just, it lets in so much light. I mean, like, this lens just, it lets in just so much light. If you just, you hear that? Let me hear that. Is that, okay, 1.7, deadly. You can't get away from it. It's so addictive shooting at just low apertures. Second lens that I own but don't use as much anymore is the Reborn 135 2.8. This lens, oh my gosh, this lens is amazing. It's literally the same as the Milton. Let's hear that. So that is the aperture ring. This lens, I used to use it quite often because it's my longest focal length. This is the 135. So when I was shooting weddings, if I needed a longer reach, I would bring out this lens. The only downside it is a manual focus, and when you're shooting an event, run and gun, autofocus is king. Autofocus is your best friend, and you need it. My third manual lens is the Neewer 25mm. I bought this for like £30 on Amazon years and years ago. I needed a wide angle manual lens, and this was just a cheap lens that I was able to use. It's nice, it's cool, it's small, it's compact. Nothing more to say about this lens. Nothing more to say. It gets the job done. I don't use it so much anymore. As you can tell by the dust, it's not doing too well in my books. Some other accessories that you need, very important, is SD cards. All right, and I'm not just saying 1 or 2 cards. You need to have a backup on top of a backup on top of a backup. So SD cards, very important. ND filters, so these are filters that go on top of your lens. Very simple. If I can just take this out and show you guys. So this is like a mist filter, ND filter I have. You put this on top of your lens like so, and then it makes it look a little bit different, as you can see. Oopsie daisy. Extra batteries. So I've got like 4 or 5 of these. You have to have extra batteries. You never ever want to go to a gig and just not have batteries. It's just not good practice. It's actually bad practice. One of my mentors always taught me, when it comes to photography, you're only as good as your backup gear. So if you go to a gig and your batteries die, what's next? If your camera dies, do you have a spare camera? Do you have other lenses? What can you do to mitigate and keep the show rolling? Another thing that I always recommend that every photographer needs to have is a high capacity battery pack. I've had this one for a few years. I actually carry 2 battery packs with me at all times when I do shoots. Sorry, I'm a little bit paranoid, but with just something like simple as this, I can charge all of my equipment. I can charge my batteries, flashes, I can charge my camera if I want with this. So it's very, very important. It may not always have an outlet plug to plug in your camera, and it may just take time. So if you want to make sure that you can charge your gear while on the go, while shooting an event, while shooting in the studio, this is what you need, man. Speaking about camera flashes, I have probably one of the best camera flashes for the A6400. This is the Goldos 350S. The S stands for Sony. This is a compact speed light and it looks absolutely perfect on your A6400. If you are shooting indoors, even outdoors, having a trusty flash always helps. It gives you different looks. You can light up your scene. If you want to get into event photography, so you're going to be shooting with different, elements, dark rooms, light rooms, in the middle, you need to have a flash with a little modifier. So this comes with an inbuilt modifier, and then it has a little, so if I want to get nice and crispy shots, if I want to bounce off the light, I pull this up. I've got my little flash card, bish bash bosh. Lovely. This is how the flash looks like on my camera. It's just, you can get really big flashes that just don't match your camera body, and it can make the camera body very front heavy or side heavy or back heavy. This one just fits perfectly, as you can tell. Look, it's nice, it's flush. You can turn it around if you want to shoot vertical. Another product which is very, very important, but a lot of people skip out on this part. Don't skip out on this part. You need to have a great, amazing camera strap. So if you're shooting a gig, let's say it's 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, you're gonna feel that weight. No matter what type of camera you have, you are going to feel it at the end of the day or tomorrow. So save yourself, save your back, get a good camera strap. This one here, let me put it on, man. Let me put it on. This camera strap is very unique and awesome because it has 2 mounting points. You can mount the camera from the bottom using this carabiner or clip. I call it clip. I'm not American. I call it a clip. And then you also have this section here at the front where you can clip it to the camera. So let's say this is my clip. This will go right here. Bish bash bosh. This other side goes into my camera. This goes on the bottom of the camera. And then 100%, even if you let go of your camera, it's just gonna glide itself right back to your hip. Very, very important. You have to have a camera strap. The next item is a must-have when carrying all your camera gear. You're gonna be bouncing around in and out studios, in and out of events. You need to have a safe way to transport your gear, and that is a camera bag. And this is my camera bag. It is the, I'm gonna butcher this name, it is the Tyrion camera bag. It comes with, it's got 2 compartments. It's got a compartment on the top, so this is where I can store, if I'm doing a shoot, a long shoot, I can store some clothes in here, snacks, anything I need. And then you have the middle pouch, which is where you can store your camera gear. This bag is big enough to store both my photography and videography setups. A little bit heavy, but it has front straps, it has side straps. It's all adjustable, so you can make it work and fit to your needs. And that is a brief summary of all the gear I use for my photography work. Please let me know if there's something that I've missed. Is there something that you have in your setup? Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. We are on a journey here. Like I said in my last video, if you haven't seen my last video, I'm gonna link it somewhere here on the screen. We are gonna be consistent on this channel, posting a minimum of 2 videos. So jump on the grind, jump on the wagon, support your boy. You have all my social media. I have Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I have everything, man. You know where to find me, man. It's your boy John Renait, man. Let's get this work, man. Peace.